So today I'm joined by Max Chambers from KAG Financial, and we're talking all about emerging talent today. So hi, Max, how are you?
Good, thank you, Matt. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, mate. Thank you. So obviously you were invited to the HSBC Emerging Talent event recently. And I just wanted to give everyone watching this back a little bit of background around why you were nominated. So you were put forward by Donald, Fraser and myself to HSBC. And part of Donald's rationale was, and I'm going to just read word for word what he wrote because I think it's pretty impressive. Sorry if this gives you a big head, mate. But so Donald said of you, you've been a great help to Kylie Ann, supporting 3 new advisors into the business, as well as supporting a full-time administrator, steadily building your own mortgage and protection client base. You're capable, personable, driven to success for you and your family and others around you in KAG Financial. And your progression in less than 2 years has been admirable. I don't know how you're going to follow that, mate, when I ask you these questions. But
Definitely not. No, I don't really take compliments very well, but that's very nice of Donald to say.
Absolutely. So I guess, mate, before we talk about the HSBC event and give everyone a bit of a flavour in terms of what went on there, tell me a little bit about you. Who's at home? What goes on in your personal life?
Yeah, so I've my partner Emily's obviously at home. I've got 3 daughters, 2 dogs. So very busy. Obviously, in terms of sort of how that's panned out, I had 2 daughters before I started doing financial services, and then unexpectedly Emily got pregnant again. So that was a bit of a turmoil going through a new job and sort of new industry, and then obviously having another kid at the same time. But yeah, family life is just family life, really. Obviously, it's the usual: getting them up, getting them to school, again, spending time on the weekends. I'm massive into my sport, so it's trying to fit that in and around absolutely everything. But yeah, busy at home, busy at work. So yeah,
good, mate. And you're outnumbered from the female to male ratio there, then, mate.
I'm outnumbered at work and I'm outnumbered at home as well. So yeah, I'm used to dealing with women a lot.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So I guess secondary to your home life, you've only been in our industry for less than 2 years, which is why you were put forward for emerging talent. But what were you doing before you joined financial services?
So I worked for a franchise of O2. I worked for them for 12 years. So I started as a sales advisor when I was younger, worked my way up to area manager. I was area manager for the last 5 years before took redundancy during the first lockdown. So massive risk, but I think, again, sort of being in that senior management role, you see a lot of sort of how the market is, where things are going, how sort of O2's influence from sort of their terms of business come across to the franchise. And I could see that things weren't going upwards. It was more so going downwards, if anything. And that industry, as obviously everybody's seen during lockdown, obviously has gone down, and it is slightly to pick up a little bit now, but the sort of progression from where I was there was sort of stagnating a little bit, and they offered me redundancy during the lockdown, which again, massive risk, but ultimately it was sort of take it now or I would have definitely been there for a couple more years while looking for a different role. So spoke to Emily, my partner, and said, look, let's give it a go. Kylie Ann at the time was my mortgage advisor, and
right.
Her husband, who now works for us as well, was one of my store managers. So I just spoke to her and said, look, this has been offered to me. I am and always been interested in finance. Do you know what I mean? What would you say about me getting into the industry? So not even sort of working with Kylie at first. And she said, look, it's absolutely fantastic. She couldn't sort of praise it enough. She's been doing it for 13 years and loves it still. So that for me was confirmation that I want to sort of give this a go. Did my CMAP, I think within sort of 2-3 months, got it passed. And then she actually said, well, I've spoken to Donald. I had the conversation with Donald, and then Kylie could be a mentor for me and sort of bring me into the business. So it all sort of worked out and sort of fit in place perfect, really.
Brilliant, mate. And that's really good to hear because, transferable skills for anybody watching this back who perhaps isn't in financial services right now, there are definitely transferable skills that you've brought across from O2 and those area manager roles that you talked about. So that's really good. You talked about Kylie Ann there. So I love seeing KAG stuff on social media, Kylie Ann stuff. You guys are all over TikTok, all, really positive stuff. So, Kylie Ann seems like a really positive influence from me as an outsider looking in. Would I be right in saying that? What have you learned from Kylie Ann?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as you mentioned, first and foremost, like positivity. She's a very sort of get up and go person. Every problem's an opportunity. It's that there is a solution to this problem and we can get sort of through it. Again, coming into the mortgage industry during lockdown, sort of speaking to Kylie, and to be fair, reflecting back now, it was a great time to get into it because criteria was very difficult. And now it's obviously getting and easing obviously up. So for me, I came in at the worst time and went through it. But Kylie, as an advisor, and a lot of advisors sort of leaving the industry, she was saying, look, I won't be leaving it. Some advisors can deal with this sort of pressure and problems. Some obviously can't. And yeah, very positive, always looking for opportunities. Honestly, without sort of support and help from Kylie, I wouldn't be where I am today, because very hands-on. She wants to be with you. So I know a lot of advisors sort of do it over Zoom, and again, people work at home. It was always, no, we need to be together so that I can see your cases, I can watch you, help you develop. And yeah, she's very sort of, from my side of things, I suppose she understands my skill set as being an area manager, dealing with people, dealing with business, and is very much sort of involved in a lot of sort of business decisions going forward and sort of bouncing ideas off me to get my opinion. So yeah, it works well together.
Brilliant. So obviously you're successful because that's why you were put forward for the HSBC Emerging Talent event. But what's been your approach to being successful as a new to industry mortgage advisor less than 2 years ago?
I think sort of the turmoil going through sort of home life, having to make it work was definitely sort of the driver going forward. There was no sort of backup plan. Yeah, I could have gone back into sort of area management and sort of that industry or that role again. But I think it was more so myself that, look, this has to work. I don't want to go back to that. And again, having another child, it's another financial sort of commitment to go through. So yeah, it was sort of this has to work. There is no second option. Again, speaking to Kylie about the sort of opportunities and the sort of the money you can make, because ultimately we come to work to earn money as well as enjoy it. And that was it, the enjoyment alongside the money. If you work hard at this is the reward you can get. And yeah, this is going to have to work, really.
Brilliant. So HSBC invited you to the wonderful Savoy, and I saw some of your pictures on LinkedIn. It looked very fancy, very posh. So I guess, what were your top 2 takeaways, and tell me a little bit about that event?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I think similar to PRIMIS events, it was the being around the people that have made it, I suppose you would say, in effect, or within the industry still, that are in those higher positions, and then also been involved around sort of your peers and people that are, again, there within the first 2 years of their career and journeys. I think it was good to sort of hear from them, get their sort of take on where they've come from, sort of the bottom to obviously the top, listening to managing directors, around sort of, do you know what I mean, how their struggle from coming from normal backgrounds, not going to university, or going to university in some cases and then just dropping out of university, getting to them like a managing directing role, and still having sort of, how would you say, like still having that sort of mindset as to, am I good enough to be here? So a lot of imposter syndrome. And honestly, probably 90% of the directors that were speaking there were saying they still suffer with imposter syndrome, which, again, for myself, being invited to something as sort of prestigious as this event, when they were sort of talking about it, it's the first of its kind across the whole industry. So being invited myself was a massive surprise. And I was thinking myself, am I actually good enough to be going to this? So I think it's good listening to those managing directors still suffering with imposter syndrome and learning how to deal with it. And then another takeaway would be that there is so much abundance of opportunity, so much abundance of wealth in the mortgage industry, protection industry, that there's enough to go around for everybody. There is opportunities around problems and the way things obviously are going within the mortgage industry at the moment, and sort of cost of living. What are the next opportunities going forward, like climate change and sort of property? How does that fit together, and what's that opportunity going forward? So I think the biggest two things was, again, doesn't matter what position you're in, imposter syndrome. If you suffer with it, it's about dealing with it, really. And then second to that is that there is plenty of opportunities. Look for the next opportunity. Wherever there's an opportunity, or wherever there's a problem, there's going to be an opportunity. So again, make the most of those.
Brilliant, mate. Really honest feedback around the imposter syndrome as well. So, thanks for that. I guess aside of the imposter syndrome, how else did you feel inside about being invited to such a prestigious event?
Yeah, it was a massive surprise, obviously. And again, very, very sort of humbled by sort of Donald's words, giving the sort of praise and stuff like that. And again, it's fantastic to be there. Very excited. I mean, London's London. Like, everyone loves going down to the capital city. Going to the Savoy, it's another world, really. Like, getting dropped off from an Uber and then a butler's opening the door for you, taking your bags from you and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. It was a very good event.
Brilliant, Max. Well, look, just chatting to you for this last 10 minutes or so, I can absolutely see why you're doing so well. So thank you for coming on and talking to me about the event. Thanks for going and representing the PRIMIS brand, because it's great to see emerging talent within our network. And I know Kylie Ann was so bloody proud of you. So, I'm sure if she was here, she'd be saying thank you for going and representing the KAG brand. So look, top man, anything else you want to finish off on?
Yeah, just again, thanks to PRIMIS, thanks to yourself, Matt, to Donald, obviously, for the nominations and letting me go. And again, a massive big thanks to HSBC. As I say, it was like first of its kind in terms of an event for the new advisors for emerging talent. And I think definitely leading by example, the lenders hopefully will take note and sort of do other events to make sure people like myself and new emerging talent coming in the future can know sort of where they can go in the future and what the opportunities are.
Brilliant. Well, lovely to chat to you, Max. I'm sure you've got loads of customers waiting to get you helping with the mortgages now, so I'll let you go. But cheers, mate. Nice to see you.
Cheers, Matt. Thanks.